Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I am Sean Anderson, and today it's my mock draft 3.0. It's up on the website. You can go check it out. I'm super excited about it. It's finally after the NCAA tournament, before the NBA playoffs start, or it might be the day of the NBA playoffs. So, we're getting to before what, the flaws of every NBA team is exposed in the playoffs, and after all the hype has dwindled down a little bit after the NCAA tournament. So now we can finally get a good estimate of where these guys are going to go and where I think these guys are going to go. And let's jump in. The big story was Brandon Ingram versus Ben Simmons in my previous mock drafts. If you haven't checked them out, they'll be in the link of the mock draft on the website, so you'll be able to find them all in one post. But I usually had Brandon Ingram going number one to the Philadelphia 76ers. But now with the change from Sam Hinkie to Brian Colangelo, I think that Ben Simmons is going to go number one now. I always said that Brandon Ingram was the better fit for the 76ers, but I always said Ben Simmons was the better player. I think Colangelo is going to realize that, and he's going to see the dollar signs that are going to surround Ben Simmons, and he's going to take Ben Simmons, and he's going to bring him in, and he's going to make him like the star that he will become. So I think that Ben Simmons is going to be the number one pick, both from a talent-wise and from a talent-wise, this fits. Obviously, Ben Simmons is the best player in the NBA draft, and I don't think it's really a question. But Brandon Ingram was a better fit, and I think that the gap was close enough that you would take the fit over the player. I do have Brandon Ingram falling to number 2 to the Los Angeles Lakers, which, Laker fans, as long as you stay in that 2 spot, you're going to get a fantastic player. Now, if you get the number 1 pick, then, throw a party in the streets of LA. But as long as you stay in that top 3 and you keep your pick, you're going to get a fantastic player that's going to be able to help out your team immediately. I think Brandon Ingram is, fantastic. I think he's going to fit in with, Russell, Clarkson, Randall. Nansu has been showing some great potential off the bench. I think that this team is going to be fantastic down the line, down the road. Kobe walks out of LA with 60 points, and Brandon Ingram's going to come in, take that spot, and hopefully he can do exactly what Kobe did, or be a similar player, be that leader for the Lakers. So I think that the Lakers are going to be in a great spot here. But the real story that has come on lately is Thon Maker, and he's eligible. Today was the day that I'm recording this that he has been cleared by the NBA to go into the NBA draft. He's hired an agent, so now we get to see what Thon Maker will do to my mock draft. I have him in the top 15. He didn't make it in the top 10. He did make it in the top 15. I think a team's going to bite on his potential, and I think a team will even bite, even more on that potential if he, really comes into the combine and really, shows that he can play with these other players that are going to be that are going to be up against him in the NBA draft. That's what I was trying to say. So if we see Bender versus Maker, and if Maker shows that he can match up with Bender right now, then I think that Maker will just skyrocket up these boards, because the real thing is we haven't seen him against college competition, and we haven't seen if his strength has improved. We haven't seen if his post defense has improved, because the kid can block shots, he can shoot threes, he can handle the ball, but his real problem and the real knock that I have him going too low is he doesn't have this basketball sense. He doesn't have this realization that he couldn't be a guard. He can't be a guard in the NBA. He was basically a guard on his high school team, but he can't carry the ball up the floor. He can't dribble like he thinks he can. But he has a emerging 3-point shot. He can play in the post if he gets stronger. He's a fantastic shot blocker. So I think that Thon Maker can will be picked high because of his potential and his potential alone. And finally, I'll throw this in for the Chicago Bulls fans in here. You are going with a guard in this draft. I gave Ricky a heart attack because when I was typing it up, I put in a center, and Ricky was like, "Are you serious?" He was going to fire me, I'm pretty sure. But now I have you going with a guard, so check out who I have you going with. I think it should be a pretty good fit for the Bulls. It might be a little bit of a reach, but I think it's a pretty good fit for the Bulls. But anyways, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and please go check out the mock draft. We love having you guys talk to us and telling me why I'm an idiot in the comments. So comment down below who you think should be moving higher up, who should be moving down. Do you think your team is picking the right guy? Tell me why it's not the right pick, or tell me why it's a great pick. Let me know down below. If you could also let me know on Twitter, that'd be cool too. I'm at Schwarbo, and then you can also talk to us on Twitter at Most Valuable Pod, and we also have a new Snapchat. Should be right here where Ricky puts it right there, and that's at Most Valuable Pod, so you can see behind the scenes stuff for Most Valuable Pod that you wouldn't get anywhere else. So anyways, that's going to wrap up this video. That's going to wrap up this whole mock draft 3.0. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.